The WHAS 11 Weather Impact Forecast is sponsored by Tom Sundergeld Plumbing and Baker's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Well, a large part of the country, wow, look at that, remains at risk for strong thunderstorms and flash flooding through tonight, just days after devastating floods hit the Northeast. Experts say a warmer atmosphere is fueling heavier downpours, making flooding more common and weather alerts more important than ever.
Our weather impact alert here today is important for you because, once again, this weather's coming in nighttime hours. A lot of you are going to be asleep. So, Mallory, are we talking tornadoes with this or really just flash flooding?
No, flash flooding remains the biggest threat by far. I do think we do have a small high wind threat really on the onset with any kind of clusters of storms that want to develop this evening and then dive into our area overnight. But the later that trends, the less wind threat that you have and the more heavy rainfall threat that you do have. So certainly have ways to get alerts overnight. Wake up tomorrow and be prepared to maybe plan a different route into work in case we do still have water on the roadways. We do have a flood watch in effect now through Saturday night. So that takes us through 2 a.m. on Sunday to be specific. Right now things are quiet. They're hot and humid. We're basically in between two weather systems and that's allowing temperatures to rise into the upper 80s, close to 90 in some spots across Kentucky. And of course, that's giving us some fuel. You can feel the humidity, the moisture in the air, and that's what all these storms will be tapping into. But we have rounds of rain on the way between now and really through the weekend. And each round will be affected by the round that comes before it, both in placement, timing, and intensity. So make sure you do stay informed with the forecast as we move forward over the next 48 hours, because it may change from time to time. But one thing that will not change is this flood watch and also our risk for flash flooding. Obviously, we've had flash flood warnings already this week with the scattered downpours that we've had across the area, and we're expecting much more widespread rainfall to roll in beginning tonight. So because of that, we have a slight risk. This is your excessive rainfall outlook. It's another way to look at your risk of flash flooding, and we're under level 2 out of 4 here. That's what you're seeing in the yellow. You'll notice once we head into Friday, much of the same. It just continues to expand eastward. Saturday, still over us. And then by Sunday, a front that's going to be very slow moving pushes a lot of this moisture down to the south, and that will continue into early next week as well. So because of that, a flood watch in effect not only for Kentuckiana, but the entire state of Kentucky here. A lot of green on this map due to the rounds of rainfall expected. Max HD radar right now, you'll notice very quiet across most of our counties, including Louisville. We did have a storm that was diving through Du Bois County, but that has since weakened. Did have some gusty winds, heavy rainfall and lightning with it, but that has continued to weaken as it's moved south of Jasper. More storms over in Illinois, one severe thunderstorm warning as it stands. So right now things are just kind of scattered in nature, what we're seeing pop up off to the west. And as we carry on throughout this evening, still going to get some hours of dry time in here, hot and humid, partly cloudy skies on tap. And then we'll see isolated to scattered storms roll in from the west later on this evening, likely increasing in coverage, I'd say, after sunset. But this isn't even really the main event here. This is all scattered stuff out ahead of these main clusters that want to dive in. And you'll notice when we say this is an overnight threat, this is 3 o'clock in the morning. So some heavy rainfall, could be some loud storms rolling through here, some gusty winds, especially along that leading edge. That could take us through your Friday morning commute. But something I will say is we're still expecting dry time in between these breaks. So we could get some decent dry time throughout Friday with temperatures in the low 80s. Still will keep a scattered storm chance around for much of the day, but then our next wave of more widespread rainfall, heavy at times, some of which could be strong, will take us from Friday night into Saturday morning. So really favoring the late in the day or night into the next morning kind of ways for the most widespread activity. We still will hold a 30% chance primarily to the south on Sunday, but that's really when our pattern starts to change. Next week trending a lot drier and gradually warmer with high temperatures climbing back into the lower 90s by midweek.